Hi everyone, this is Afido here. Hi, my name is Afido, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about what it means to be self-empowered, fiercely independent individual, right? And precisely the power in self-empowerment. So, being a self-empowerment space is very dear to me because of my own experiences, past trauma, past, aggressions that I had I went through, and I've been doing. I made it my life mission to really create space for others to come to really be themselves, be seen, be heard, and really support anyone that need the tools to be ready to tackle everything or anything that comes in our way that are created by external factors that we're not in control of. So I want to talk about the power of self-empowerment. I want to give a little bit of explanation, some tips about how to really implement self-empower, or how do you get yourself self-empowered. That's pretty much what I want to go through today. But before we get started, you're right now, if you're not self-empowered individual, you're most likely feeling a little bit of overwhelm. You're feeling vulnerable. You have a low self-esteem. It could really put a strain on your relationship because you're probably seeking approval and approval from others, right? And also you probably have some kind of anxiety, depression, and other serious mental and emotional disorder because of all the emotion that we are not equipped to deal with on our own or to walk through on our own. We absorb that feelings, and then it comes outside, and that creates a physical health disorder to us, right? So if you are able to get the tools in that you need to be prepared better from when things get tough, then you can overcome most of the life situations that life throws at us. So it is important to really know how to get self-empowered, and also know like the little bit of strategies, and know where to go, and the resources that you need to feel self-empowered. Because once you feel self-empowered, you are able to tackle all the challenges or the barriers or circumstances that comes your way. So then you can live your greatness, then you can go out there and teach others and support others, and the gift just keep on giving, right? So before we get into what self-empower really is, let's talk about what self-empowerment is not. So self-empowerment, explained like that, is by becoming someone who see and remove and able to remove the obstacle that prevent you from realizing your potential, right? This obstacle can prevent us from being all we can be in life, our greatness, right? So self-empowerment, it is not something if you are an individual who lack vision in life, okay? Self-empowerment, if you are trying to get into the bottom of self-empowerment, it is not living in fear. It is having the courage to go out there and do the impossible. The courage to get from comfortable to uncomfortable, right? That is what self-empowerment is. It is not speaking fear, all right? You cannot be a professional, professionist, and be self-empowered. Because guess what? We're aging. We're growing. We're accustomed to change, to live and to growth, and depends on our environment. We have to continue learning and improving. So you can be a professionist and think that's self-empowering, because it's not, right? So then what is self-empowerment? Self-empowerment, once you reach that level, then you are able to take control of your lives, setting goals and making positive choices, and able to use those choices and to implement that and then transform that, for yourself. And for my own self, personal experiences, I came to the States, to United States, when I was 14 years old. One of the many things that I deal with was self-confidence. Low self-esteem and self-confidence was lacking. And some of the barriers that was on my way is the fact that I do not speak or understand a word of English. And I had thought that was a for me. And everything I do, I lower myself to thinking that because of my lack of English, I'm not able to be successful in life. But there are ways to deal with that low self-esteem, to build the confidence up, and to be able to rise and do the things that makes you happy or makes me happy, right? So not until later in life, for the last 7 years, I've been I'm on the path of growth. I'm on the path of that personal development journey. I'm on the path, through my coaches, through my trainers, through my teachers, through my environment, through my community. I am growing and understanding that the feelings from being who I want to be really are all within myself. They're within me. So I have to tap into those using skills that are taught to me to really pull those out. So I have the tools that I can use when things become unclear, when challenges rises, so I can overcome those challenges. And also when I feel stuck, I can be unstuck using my own personal self-empowerment tools to do that. Okay. And then now that we understand what self-empowerment is, what do we need to do? What do we need to do next, right? So there was a study that Abbott did a study about how do you feel fulfilled? Are you fulfilled? How do you know if you're fulfilled? And all part of the world, people are talking about different way that they feel fulfilled. Some people are saying that it's family. Family fulfill them, right? Which is perfectly fine. But what if you have, you don't have that foundation. You didn't create that circle of family to feel you fulfilled. What else can you see? What else can you look for? Right? And yes, sometimes we don't feel fulfilled because of the lack of education, lack of financial security, lack of support, lack of, resources, which is, most part of the world, that's what people are dealing with. But the thing is, you have to know and master your own ability to look for answer, right? That's what self-empowerment is all about. And depends on where you are in the world, and depends on your orientation, depends on your milestone, depends on where you physically and emotionally, spiritually are right now. Then that is a self-empowerment tools. That there are self-empowerment tools that you probably already created, but you just don't know how to master it or activate that, and there's a way to do that, right? And in order to really master and activate that self-empowerment tool, look at your community, look at the way you show up to people. Is it something that speaks to you sometimes? Say, don't do it. Are you in a space where you feel conflicted? You're only there because of other people. Because remember that self-empowerment, it is not waiting for validation and approval from others. So you cannot do that. Okay? So think about where you are, where you need, and how do you get to that point. And think about the stuff that you can eliminate to get to that point. That is self-empowerment. Okay? So, and the ideal is that once you know you do the the elimination process of what the things that you cannot take with you to the journey of self-empowerment, then you can really apply the first thing. And there are 10 layers of self-empowerment, that you can go through and master. The first two that are important, one is self-love. Right? Self-love is not selfish, okay? Self-love is being with yourself, understand yourself, keep yourself to have a boundary, so when people cross those boundaries, you know when to say no. Self-love is the fact that you are your own unique self. You go to sleep with yourself. You wake up with yourself. You do pretty much everything with yourself 24 hours a day. Why not love that person? Befriend yourself. That is self-love. That is the first important thing, one layers to dive into in order to master self-love. Self-empowerment, right? And to do that, create a list, ask yourself questions, do a personal assessment of what is going on well in your life, and build on that. Self-love, right? The second thing is self-worth. Self-worth, to understand self-worth is to eliminate what is not self-worth. And what is not self-worth is your past experiences. Your self-worth is not based off of your past experiences, your past, treatments that people might have, treated against you, your past trauma. You might have been walked on, you might have been drove on, you might have left on the side of the road while it rains. Anybody might have done you wrong, but that does not devalue your self-worth. Your self-worth is this, your greatness. Your self-worth is what makes you happy. Your self-worth is that the whole world can be collapsing and everything you ever worked for can be stripped away from you and you're still standing in your power. That is self-worth. Okay, so I hope those two layers, once you start diving into them, I hope it helps. And another way to master self-worth is by just pretty much asking yourself every day, what are you willing to, to live on? What are you willing to say yes to? What are you willing to leave behind as a legacy, right? What does that look like? So maybe understanding that may create that, may help you dive into which area that you can improve and really develop self-worth and keep that for yourself, because nobody has the power to tell you otherwise. All right. So I hope that a little bit of 2 tips, the understanding what self-empowerment means, how to master self-empower, and the most important 2 layers to dive into the area of improvement to master self-empower. I hope those help you out and you're able to implement those. If it really resonates with you, please let me know in this video comments or reach out to me. My name is Afiro, and I hope you find this bit of a training very useful and inspiring. And wherever you are, please stay there with love in your heart. Be mindful, and be self-aware. All right. Bye.